The conference is one of a series of conferences organized by the Patriot League to focus on the commonalities in the experiences of the faculty on each of the campuses in the League. And it's a chance for faculty to gather together and to discover that while our students are traveling long distances to compete on the track or on the basketball court, we can also travel and learn a lot from one another and the work that we do with those students in our own classrooms and laboratories and lecture halls. This one in particular grew out of a discussion that we had had at Holy Cross about the importance of ethics to the mission of Holy Cross, and I floated the idea at a meeting of the chief academic officers from all of the schools, and there was an immediate positive response. Everybody saw their own way of talking about this, and we've learned a lot about that in the last 24 hours. The representatives from the military academies are very interested in instilling their own particular ethics into their students who are going to be future officers. We here, because we have a faith affiliation, are very interested in the way in which the traditions of our own church are reflected in curriculum and in student activities. But even the other institutions that don't have such explicit links, it's usual that in your mission statement you talk about ethical leadership, developing the leaders for the 21st century, and those have got to be more than just stock phrases. They've got to have some reality. And the question is, how do faculty instill in our students the kinds of values that we say we're promoting? The challenge in coming up with a series like this is that the Patriot League schools are bound by a history and by some shared values about athletics, but they're also very different institutions. The service academy is a faith-affiliated school, universities that have engineering on their campuses versus a liberal arts college like Holy Cross. We're very, very different institutions in many, many ways. So the question is, what are the topics that will draw some interest from every campus? And the first meeting we had was about science and technology instruction. And we all have science departments, we all have an interest in developing the future technology leaders, and so that was extremely successful. That one was at Lafayette. The second one was at Bucknell, and it focused on teaching. How do you teach, and what in particular are the new ways of teaching? The tendency to design courses that take students out into the community, that have a very practical side to them. And that again was very well attended, very exciting. And luckily we came up with a third topic. I think it's going to continue to be a challenge to find topics that will pull faculty from institutions that are 6 and 7 hours drive away from here, so it's a significant investment to come up for the conference. But you have to find topics where there's a compelling interest on each campus. At the final gathering where we had everybody in the same room, I did challenge the people who've been here and who've all been saying what a wonderful meeting this was, to go home and to work with their colleagues and with their chief academic officers to figure out where we go next. We're hoping that this will be at least every other year we'll hold a conference like this. But it's a question of coming up with these topics, and we hope that people will come up with those for us. Ideally, it would not be the chief academic officers who always come up with a new topic. The faculty should drive this by figuring out what it is they want to talk about the most.